Act 3, Chapter 1, Part 1. We have Onion Knight, who is getting an LD and burst. First off, his armor. It is the DPS armor, the attack keystone, I believe it is. I never remember the names of that stuff. And he has a really loaded LD and no rework, which is fine. His LD gives him a new overhead, which is a huge attack up. I believe it's 170% total with his limit breaks on his LDs. Gets more overflow for himself. Brave and HP damage up, and party Embrave up on top of his already decent auras, which I think were attack and overflow for the party. Might have been some Embrave in there too, but I don't know. And his LD shifts party turns Ignis style and gives them a free skill use. This applies to skill 1, skill 2, and C65 even. So it's especially abusable if you have a skill recovery C65. So if you burn that there, you'll be able to get 2 skills back on a free 65, which is what I'd consider awesome. Obviously you can't free use LDs, and there's a lot of potential shenanigans here. It's a double HP attack. It's single target melee first, and then AoE split HP right after. He drops an Ice Imperil as well, and Onion Knight also gets the free skill after, and the idea here is to use it on his on his C65, so he has a pretty much permanent uptime on his C65 Ice Enchant for the party. So he's got crazy utility now, crazy damage output. His call is just his regular Splash Blizzard. It's okay damage, and his party attack plus 20%. And his LD call has the same party manipulation effect with the free skills, etc. But there's no actual effect from it. But free skills as a call with pocket turn manipulation is incredible. That's good stuff right there. His burst is even more amazing. Wow. Well, one, he got 2 animations. The devs love him. Well, great shout out to the PSP games. If he ends his burst phase in his melee, his ninja stance, then he's going to do a double HP attack, the single target melee. But if he ends it in the magic stance, he's going to do an AoE, 100% AoE magic HP attack. And the effect is it's an attack up to whatever stance he finished in. So if you end in ninja, you're going to get a physical attack up plus 30, I think it is. I don't remember the exact numbers, but nobody cares about the exact numbers anyways. And if you ended in Sage magic mode, then you get a magic boost to your attack. On top of that, it's 50% Brave damage up and 20% HP damage up, which is like Paladin Cecil's LD, which I'll cover later. Lastly, he can up the party's Brave damage cap as well. So this is just a loaded burst effect. Great as a friend. Onion Knight's just stellar. He deserves obviously Paladin Cecil's extremely broken, but Onion Knight is fantastic as well. Put some respect where it's due. This man is awesome, and he's also awesome for the Lufenia. Additionally, the other one getting an update here is Gao. Gao is getting his LD boards. So on these LD boards, he gets more party attack up. His actual LD attack gets more hits and more overflow. And his counters, this is the best part about Gao's LD boards, his counters get improved. So now the Life Shaver, the heal one, it hits harder with an extra hit and heals better. Cat Scratch, the actual damage one, it gets another hit and it has splash HP, which is stellar for him. And Landslide, the LD counter, has more overflow, so it's not going to cap as hard if you get close to that cap. His call ability is a heal move. It's the Life Shaver, and it gives the caller self attack, Embrave, and speed up. Situationally good, I guess. Pocket heal, and the LD call. This is news to me, by the way. It is a party attack up and an Earth enchant. It also drops the Imperil, so you can have the second Earth, not even second Earth, second enchant call in the game. That's awesome. I had no idea it did that. And also on top of that, it has attack and Embrave down for the enemies. That's stellar. Gao gets even better. It's not going to make him shoot to the top or anything, but he gets a decent upgrade. He's even more usable than he was before. Additionally, Alice, Saz, Cater, and Snow are getting their 80 in regular calls here. The most remarkable one is Saz here. If you have him, I don't know if this applies if he's 3/3 or not, but he does get pocket buff extend, which is good to stack with Hope and Gladio potentially for 5 turns of Gladio's LD, which is hilarious. And Cater, who is situationally useful for Self, Ice, and Chant, which I'll touch on later when I get to the Lufenia. As for my polls and thoughts, Onion Knight is a 2 weeks synergy. I always go for those. You should expect by now that I'm pulling. I'm hopeful for Cater dupes because I think the banner is Snow, Onion, and Cater. Onion is fantastic. He killed me in a ton of Lufenia. He hits hard. He's got clutch, unique utility. No one else has come close to that party manipulation plus free skills. He's a good damage dealer, and he also doubles up as an enchanter, an offensive enchanter. Those are rare. Definitely valuable to pick up. Ice Absorb is pretty much non-existent, so he's good there. And even if Ice is absorbed, he's still viable. His burst effect is stupidly broken. Just stupidly broken. It's so good. If you get that burst, you're going to love it. The Paladin Cecil hype, I think, is blinding people to how fire Onion Knight is, which is ironic because he's ice. Never mind. I'm going for the LD, like I said, and I love to get the burst again. I tokened it in JP, and I used it in Transcendence too. I used them quite a bit. People have done way down the line, like different Onion Knight runs, and he remains viable for a very long time. Again, those free skills are really good. On the other banner, I already have Gao, and I'll LD board him. Obviously, it gives him a nice boost, but he was, like I said, he was already plenty viable, and now he's just better. Enchant Call ability is insanely good, and while there are at least 2 instances of Earth Absorb this month, Gao will still be good. He's still viable, and just lives on. He's going to be great in the Lufenia because of the attack down and the counter heals, but I'll go into that in a second. Now the Lufenia, the dreaded Medusa's Act 3, Chapter 1 Lufenia. I hate this fight. As you saw in my community posts before, man, I hate this fight. It took me days. It tilted me so bad because this fight's just ridiculous. It was the introduction of frame turns and what else? Battery reduction at the same time. And then they have. Oh, let me just go into it. I'm getting angry just think about it. The music is the only good thing about this fight. I don't even know where to start. It's not an exhaustive list. It's not an exhaustive list. Jesus, I can't talk. But this fight is very rough, so don't feel too bad about it. When they turn yellow, they get weak to magic and they get high defense. And when they turn purple, they get weak to physical and they get faster. Again, this is to sell Onion Knight, obviously, which is with his swapping stances. Their recast ignores brave damage reduction. If you get broken by the recast, you get dispelled and petrified, which is pretty much a dead run unless you Esna it off. And even now, I don't know how viable it'd be to do that. And when the recast is up, their brave gain reduction jumps up to, it's either 80 or 90. Regardless of that 10%, it's ridiculous. Trying to battery through that is hard. And if you get broken again, like I said, and you can't battery through it, then you're just dead. They frame their own turns at some points, which means they are immune to turn delay and turn delete. And here they are additionally immune to break delay, so you can't just re-break them to get past it. So you gotta deal with this somehow. And they cleanse at some points as well. I don't know the exact points. And they get 150k Warrior Light Shields. And on top of all this, they're Imperil immune. So if you're thinking, I don't think I mentioned it, but the orb is ice. If you're thinking of, I can just bring Kurosami for the ice. No, you can't, because his debuff is an ice Imperil. So it is even framed Imperils are locked out. So no Reno, no Zonde. Those Imperils are all dead. You can't Imperil it at all. But it's an ice orb. So they want you to bring Onion Knight. Wow. If you're frustrated with this fight and don't want to pull Onion Knight, it's fine. It's permanent content. You can creep it with Celes, who comes back in a month with a rework and LD on Divine Ramu, and she's another Ice Enchanter. You can come back here and she helps trivialize this fight. She's very good for it. And it's also possible without Onion Knight in the main party, but you need to get crafty with an Onion Knight friend unit. I've seen a specific run on Discord. There was one guy, I think he did it was a Gao, Firion, and Ramza, and then he put Cater's Ice Enchant Call on Firion, so Firion did ice damage on the off turns, and that's very smart. I expect some more GL ingenuity to shine. I hate this fight with a passion. It took me days to the point where I was, again, so tilted that I didn't commentate while I recorded. This fight's rough, man. So take your time, check in with the community, watch some YouTube runs. I'm thinking I'm going to run X-Death, Onion Knight, and Gao maybe, or maybe Onion Knight, X-Death, and Ramza. I don't know. X-Death cuts through the shields, and his sustained damage on the off turns is fine. And the attack down will help us not get hit as hard, so that should be good. I'm going to play it by when I feel, yeah. Catch me when I run that, alright? And just remember, this is the fight when JP got HP damage, HP percent quality of life. So just to put in perspective how long we went without it. I don't think we have wave reset by this time either. So yeah, have fun with this fight. Don't get too frustrated. Stay frosty. Where did that come from? I don't think I've said that in like years. Ugh.